Okay, get ready to dive deep because today we're tackling something that affects millions of us. Blood sugar spikes.
Sounds intriguing.
Did you know over 50% of people with diabetes experience unexpected blood sugar spikes daily? We're about to uncover why that happens, even when you think you're making healthy choices.
That is a surprising statistic. Many people believe that managing blood sugar is as simple as avoiding sugary treats, but the reality is far more nuanced.
That's why we're here. By the end of this deep dive, you'll not only know the usual suspects behind those spikes,
Hmm,
but also some surprising, often overlooked culprits.
I like it. A deep dive.
Plus, we'll equip you with practical strategies to keep those glucose levels steady.
Think of us as your guides to understanding the hidden world of blood sugar.
I like that. Let's start by debunking a common myth that blood sugar spikes only come from indulging in sweets. Some seemingly healthy foods can also send those levels soaring.
Absolutely. The key here is understanding how our bodies process different foods in different ways. Even nutritious choices like oatmeal or fruit juice can cause rapid glucose rises if not balanced correctly.
Yeah, my morning smoothie habit might need a little tweaking after this.
Perhaps. Let's take oatmeal, for instance.
Okay.
It's a popular breakfast option. However, it can have a high glycemic index, meaning it's quickly digested and can lead to a rapid increase in blood sugar, especially if eaten without protein or fat to slow down the process.
Ah, I see. So adding some nuts or a scoop of Greek yogurt could make a big difference.
Absolutely. The same principle applies to fruit juices and smoothies.
Okay.
They're packed with natural sugars, primarily fructose.
Mm-hmm.
While these can be part of a healthy diet, consuming them without fiber or protein to counterbalance the sugar can lead to those unwanted spikes.
Interesting. So what about those seemingly healthy yogurt and granola parfaits? They're often marketed as a good breakfast choice.
You have to be careful there.
Yeah.
Many commercially prepared yogurts and granola mixes, while marketed as healthy, often contain hidden added sugars that can contribute to blood sugar fluctuations.
Ah, sneaky. What about whole wheat bread? I always thought that was a good choice.
Whole wheat bread is a good source of whole grains, which is positive. However, like other carbohydrate-rich foods, it can be rapidly converted to sugar in the bloodstream if not balanced with other nutrients.
So pairing it with protein and fiber is essential for keeping those spikes in check.
Precisely. Protein and fiber are your allies in blood sugar management. They slow down the absorption of sugars, preventing those rapid rises.
This is all starting to make sense now. So beyond those healthy food traps, what else should we be aware of when it comes to blood sugar spikes?
Well, you might be surprised to learn that when you eat can be as important as what you eat.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So late night snacking is a definite no-no.
It can be, yes. Eating late at night, especially close to bedtime, can disrupt your blood sugar balance and lead to higher morning readings. This is partly due to the body's natural hormonal fluctuations throughout the day, including what's known as the dawn phenomenon.
The dawn phenomenon.
Yes.
Sounds a bit ominous.
It's a natural process where your body releases hormones like cortisol and growth hormone in the early morning hours to prepare you for the day ahead. These hormones can increase blood sugar levels.
So if you've already got elevated glucose from a late dinner or snack, it's like a double whammy.
Exactly. Additionally, your body might process food differently at night compared to during the day, which can further contribute to those elevated morning levels.
Okay, no more midnight snacks for me. What about hydration? Does that play a role in blood sugar control?
Absolutely. Staying well hydrated is more crucial than you might think when it comes to blood sugar management. Dehydration can actually concentrate blood glucose levels, making those spikes even more pronounced.
So it's not just about quenching your thirst, it's about keeping those glucose levels in check.
Precisely. Dehydration can sneak up on you. Look out for common signs like dry mouth, fatigue, and darker urine. They could all indicate a need to up your water intake.
Good to know. Now, intermittent fasting has gained a lot of popularity. Can that impact blood sugar levels?
It can, but it depends on the individual and how they approach it. While intermittent fasting might offer benefits for some, timing is key. Prolonged periods without food can sometimes trigger rebound hyperglycemia. Essentially, your body overcompensates after a long stretch without fuel.
So it's all about finding a balance that works for your body.
Exactly. If you're considering intermittent fasting, consult with your doctor or a registered dietitian to develop a plan that suits your needs and ensures you're not going too long without eating.
That's great advice. Now, I know that things beyond what we eat can also impact blood sugar levels, like stress, right?
You're absolutely right. Factors like stress, lack of sleep, and even certain medications can significantly influence your blood sugar. Let's start by delving into the impact of stress.
I've definitely noticed that my blood sugar seems to go haywire when I'm stressed. Turns out it's not just in my head.
Not at all. Stress triggers a cascade of physiological responses in the body.
Oh, wow.
When you're stressed, your body releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which signal your liver to release stored glucose for a quick burst of energy. This, in turn, can lead to those dreaded blood sugar spikes.
So finding ways to manage stress isn't just about feeling better, it's crucial for maintaining healthy blood sugar control too.
Precisely. And these stress triggers can be subtle and often sneak up on us. It doesn't have to be a major life event.
So even everyday things like running late for work or having a disagreement with a friend can contribute to those stress-induced spikes.
Absolutely. Even those seemingly small stressors can elevate your cortisol levels, which, as we discussed, can directly impact your blood sugar.
So incorporating stress-reducing techniques like deep breathing and meditation into our daily routines could be beneficial.
Absolutely. Deep breathing exercises, meditation, and even light exercise are all powerful tools for counteracting the physiological effects of stress.
Okay, noted. Now let's shift gears and talk about something we all love, or perhaps wish we had more of: sleep. Does lack of sleep really mess with our blood sugar?
It does. When you consistently don't get enough sleep, your body can become less responsive to insulin, the hormone responsible for regulating blood sugar. This can lead to elevated blood sugar levels overall.
So even one bad night's sleep can affect my glucose levels the next day.
Unfortunately, yes. Even one night of insufficient sleep can disrupt your blood sugar balance.
So establishing good sleep habits is essential for maintaining stable blood sugar.
It's one of the most effective things you can do for your overall health, including your metabolic health. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Maintaining a regular sleep schedule, creating a relaxing sleep environment, and minimizing screen time before bed are key strategies.
It seems that taking care of our overall well-being is directly linked to maintaining healthy blood sugar levels.
That's a great observation. It's not just about diet and exercise, it's about managing stress, prioritizing sleep, and understanding those interconnected aspects of our health.
It's all connected. Speaking of connections, can the medications we take affect our blood sugar?
They absolutely can. Some medications, while essential for treating other conditions, can inadvertently influence blood sugar levels.
Interesting.
For example, steroids like prednisone or cortisone are known to raise blood sugar.
Really? So if someone is on medication and noticing unexplained spikes, it's important to talk to their doctor about possible alternatives or adjustments.
Precisely. Don't automatically assume it's something you ate. Always have an open conversation with your doctor about any concerns you have regarding your blood sugar levels, especially if you're taking medication.
Great advice. Now, what about hormones? I know they can be tricky, especially for women.
You're right. Hormonal fluctuations can play a significant role in blood sugar regulation, often causing those unexpected ups and downs.
So what are some of the hormonal changes that can impact blood sugar?
For women, the menstrual cycle and menopause can cause variations in blood sugar due to the cyclical hormonal changes associated with these stages of life.
That makes sense. Are there any other hormonal factors we should be aware of?
Yes. Thyroid disorders, whether it's an underactive or overactive thyroid, can also influence metabolic rates and impact glucose control.
Okay, so it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor if you notice persistent fluctuations in your blood sugar, especially if you're experiencing other symptoms that could be related to hormonal issues.
Definitely. Early detection and management of any underlying hormonal imbalances can make a significant difference in your overall health, including your blood sugar control.
Now, before we move on to strategies for managing blood sugar spikes, I want to touch on one more thing that can sometimes be a hidden influencer: PCOS.
Polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, is a hormonal disorder that can often involve insulin resistance, which can make blood sugar management more challenging.
So for women with PCOS, understanding those hormonal connections and working closely with their healthcare providers to develop personalized management plans is especially important.
Absolutely. Having a supportive healthcare team can empower women with PCOS to manage their blood sugar effectively and improve their overall well-being.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
It's clear that blood sugar spikes can stem from many factors, not just that sugary donut.
You got it. It's a complex issue, but the good news is that there are a lot of things we can do to take control of our blood sugar and prevent those spikes.
That's what I like to hear. So are you ready to move on to those actionable strategies?
Let's dive into some practical tips.
All right, we've explored some of the lesser-known causes of blood sugar spikes. Now let's shift gears and discuss practical strategies to help prevent and manage those glucose fluctuations. Where do we begin?
Well, as the saying goes, knowledge is power. So the first step is becoming a blood sugar detective and identifying your personal triggers.
I love that analogy. How do we go about becoming blood sugar detectives?
One of the simplest and most effective ways is to keep a detailed blood sugar log. Jot down what you eat, when you eat it, approximate portion sizes, your sleep patterns, your mood, and of course, your blood sugar readings.
So it's like a combined food and mood journal with blood sugar data.
Exactly. This log can reveal hidden patterns and connections you might not have noticed otherwise. For example, you might discover you consistently experience spikes after consuming certain foods, or that your blood sugar tends to be higher on days when you haven't slept well.
That makes sense. It's all about understanding your body's unique responses to different factors.
Right. And if you're looking for more real-time insights, you might consider using a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM.
Oh yeah, those sound pretty high tech. How do they work?
A CGM is a small device, usually worn on your arm or abdomen, that continuously tracks your glucose levels throughout the day and night.
Ow.
It uses a tiny sensor inserted just under the skin to measure glucose levels in the interstitial fluid.
It's like having your own personal blood sugar detective working around the clock.
Exactly. It provides real-time data and can even send alerts if your blood sugar is heading too high or too low.
That's amazing. However, CGMs do have limitations. The readings have a slight time lag compared to a traditional finger prick test, and they need to be calibrated regularly.
That's a great point. It's essential to understand both the benefits and limitations of any technology you use for health monitoring.
Absolutely. But beyond tracking, what are some proactive steps we can take to prevent those spikes in the first place?
Once you've identified your triggers through tracking, you can start making strategic changes to your diet and lifestyle.
Like what? Give us some actionable tips.
One of the simplest and most effective strategies is mindful food pairing. Remember how we talked about the importance of protein and fiber for slowing down sugar absorption?
Yes, those are our blood sugar superheroes.
Right. So instead of eating carbohydrates alone, try pairing them with healthy fats and protein. For example, instead of just having a piece of fruit for a snack, pair it with a handful of nuts or some cheese.
So that apple with peanut butter really is a blood sugar power move.
Exactly. And if you're having a meal with rice or pasta, make sure to include a good source of protein like fish, chicken, beans, or tofu.
What about portion control? Does that play a role?
Absolutely. Even healthy foods can cause spikes if you eat too much of them at once.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot with portion sizes.
Precisely. And here's a helpful strategy. Start your meal with fiber or protein.
Okay.
This is called preloading, and it helps prime your digestive system for a more balanced glucose response.
Interesting. So starting with a salad or a protein-rich appetizer could help prevent those large spikes after the main course.
You got it. It helps to slow down the absorption of sugars from the rest of the meal.
Okay, so we've covered mindful food choices, but I know exercise is also incredibly important for blood sugar management. What are your thoughts on that?
You're absolutely right. Physical activity is a powerful tool for regulating blood sugar. When you move your body, your muscles use up glucose for energy, which helps to lower your blood sugar levels.
So skipping that after-dinner Netflix binge for a walk could make a big difference.
It could make a huge difference. Even a short 10-15-minute walk after eating can significantly help your muscles utilize that post-meal glucose.
Okay, adding post-meal walk to my to-do list. But what about different types of exercise? Is one more beneficial than another for blood sugar control?
Both cardio and strength training have unique advantages. Ideally, incorporating a mix of both into your routine is best.
So activities like brisk walking, running, or swimming combined with some weightlifting or resistance training would be ideal.
Exactly. Strength training helps build muscle mass, and muscle is more efficient at using glucose, which improves insulin sensitivity. And as you mentioned, cardio helps your body utilize glucose for energy.
This is all making so much sense. So we've discussed mindful food choices, portion control, preloading, and regular exercise. What other strategies can we implement to prevent blood sugar spikes?
Well, remember how we talked about the impact of stress on blood sugar?
Oh yes, those pesky stress hormones.
Right. Finding healthy ways to manage stress is crucial for keeping your blood sugar balanced.
So back to the stress thing. What are some easy ways to tame those cortisol surges?
Deep breathing exercises are a great place to start. Just a few minutes of deep, slow breaths can significantly lower your cortisol levels almost immediately.
I can definitely try that. Any other stress-busting techniques you recommend?
Mindfulness practices like yoga and meditation are also incredibly helpful. They help to calm your body's stress response and bring you back to a state of balance.
I've been meaning to try meditation. Maybe now is the time. Anything else?
Don't underestimate the power of social connection. Spending time with loved ones, laughing, and engaging in activities you enjoy can all help reduce stress and indirectly benefit your blood sugar levels.
So prioritizing our mental well-being is just as important as focusing on our physical health when it comes to blood sugar control. It's all connected.
Precisely. And speaking of connections, let's not forget about the importance of sleep.
Right, sleep. We all need more of it, don't we?
We do. And good sleep hygiene is a cornerstone of overall health, including healthy blood sugar levels. Remember, when you're sleep deprived, your body becomes less responsive to insulin, leading to those higher blood sugar levels.
So how do we optimize our sleep for stable blood sugar? What are those key strategies again?
Establishing a relaxing bedtime routine is crucial. This signals to your body that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep.
Things like taking a warm bath, reading a book, or listening to calming music.
Exactly. It's also important to optimize your sleep environment. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet, and minimize exposure to blue light from electronic devices in the evening.
Right, that blue light can really disrupt our sleep cycles.
It can. And if you're struggling to get a good night's sleep, you might consider talking to your doctor about melatonin supplement.
Oh, melatonin. That's the hormone that helps regulate our sleep-wake cycle.
Yes, it is. And while melatonin supplements can be helpful for some, it's always best to discuss their use with your healthcare provider, especially if you have underlying health conditions or are taking other medications.
Good point. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Now, I want to circle back to medications for a moment. We discussed how some medications can affect blood sugar. Are there ways to manage those medication-induced spikes?
Yes, there are a few things you can do. Sometimes simply adjusting the timing of your diabetes medications can help prevent those spikes.
So working closely with your doctor to find the optimal timing for your medications is key.
Exactly. And again, open communication with your doctor is essential. If you suspect your medications are contributing to your blood sugar fluctuations, discuss it with them. They can recommend dosage adjustments or explore alternative treatment options.
That's great advice. It's so important to be your own health advocate and have open and honest conversations with your healthcare providers. Now, before we wrap things up, I think it's time to debunk some common myths about blood sugar spikes. Ready for some myth busting?
Let's do it. I always enjoy clearing up those misconceptions.
Okay, first up, blood sugar spikes only happen after eating sweets. Myth or fact?
That's definitely a myth. While sugary treats can contribute to spikes, they're not the only culprit. As we've discussed, stress, dehydration, the timing of your meals, and certain medications can all play a role.
So it's about taking a holistic approach to blood sugar management, not just focusing on cutting out sugar.
Exactly. It's about understanding all the various factors that can influence your blood sugar and making informed choices to support your overall health and well-being.
Okay, next myth. Only diabetics experience blood sugar spikes. What's the truth about that?
Another myth. Everyone, regardless of whether they have diabetes, experiences natural fluctuations in their blood sugar levels throughout the day. It's a normal physiological process.
So those fluctuations aren't necessarily a cause for concern unless they become extreme or persistent.
Right. It's all about staying within a healthy range.
All right, last myth. If my blood sugar spikes, it must be because I ate too much sugar. Is that always the case?
Not necessarily. While sugar intake can contribute to spikes, other factors can often have a greater influence, such as meal composition, sleep quality, stress levels, and hormonal balance.
So it's essential to look at the bigger picture and not just automatically blame it on sugar.
Exactly. It's about understanding the complex interplay of factors that can influence your blood sugar and making adjustments as needed.
This has been incredibly insightful. I'm feeling much more knowledgeable and empowered about managing my blood sugar.
That's wonderful to hear. And remember, managing blood sugar is a journey, not a destination. It's an ongoing process of learning about your body, identifying what works best for you, and making gradual, sustainable changes over time.
Well said. We've covered so much ground today. I'm feeling much more informed and optimistic about taking control of my blood sugar.
That's fantastic. And remember, you don't have to make drastic changes overnight. Start with small, manageable steps and gradually build from there.
Great advice. I think we've explored a wide range of strategies and debunks those common myths. I'm eager to hear your final thoughts and key takeaways as we wrap up this deep dive into blood sugar.
Wow, we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive. exploring the wild world of blood sugar.
It's crazy, all the factors that contribute to those sneaky spikes.
From hidden food culprits to the impact of stress and sleep, it's clear that blood sugar management goes way beyond just avoiding sugary treats.
Yeah. Understanding our bodies and how lifestyle choices can impact our metabolic health.
So let's recap those key takeaways for our listeners. Most important things to remember: preventing and managing those blood sugar spikes.
First, blood sugar spikes can have many triggers beyond that occasional sugary indulgence.
Debunk that myth. Not just cutting out sweets, but understanding those hidden culprits lurking in our everyday habits.
Right. Stress, sleep deprivation, dehydration, certain medications, all these things can significantly affect your blood sugar levels. And for women, hormonal fluctuations, a major factor. Right. It's about taking a holistic approach to health, not just focusing on diet alone.
Absolutely. That's why tracking your blood sugar and keeping a food and mood journal can be so insightful. It allows you to identify those personal triggers and see the connections you might not have noticed otherwise.
And for those seeking real-time data and personalized insights, we talked about continuous glucose monitors, or CGMs.
CGMs can be a game changer for many people, providing constant feedback, helping them make more informed decisions about their health.
But beyond simply tracking, we discussed a range of practical strategies to proactively manage those spikes.
When it comes to food choices, mindful pairing is key, combining carbs with healthy fats and protein. Simple yet powerful way to slow down sugar absorption and prevent those rapid rises.
That apple with peanut butter still holds its place as a blood sugar champion.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about portion control. Even healthy foods can lead to spikes if we overdo it.
Everything in moderation.
Exactly. And we talked about preloading. Starting your meal with fiber or protein, simple trick, can help prime your digestive system for a steadier glucose response.
Starting with a salad or some lean protein before the main course can make a big difference.
Indeed. And let's not forget the importance of movement. Physical activity is a phenomenal tool for blood sugar management.
Even a short walk after a meal can do wonders, helping your muscles utilize that post-meal glucose.
It's true. Incorporating both cardio and strength training into your routine can provide even greater benefits for long-term blood sugar control.
So get moving, everyone. Physical health isn't the only factor. We also discussed the significant impact stress can have on blood sugar levels.
Absolutely. Stress hormones can wreak havoc on our blood sugar balance. Finding healthy ways to manage stress is crucial.
We talked about some simple yet powerful techniques, like deep breathing exercises, mindfulness practices, and nurturing those social connections.
These tools can not only reduce stress, but also bring a sense of balance and well-being to our lives.
And let's not forget the cornerstone of good health: quality sleep.
Sleep plays a critical role in regulating our hormones and metabolism, directly impacting our blood sugar levels.
We explored the importance of establishing a calming bedtime routine, optimizing our sleep environment, and ensuring we're getting those 7 to 8 hours of restorative sleep.
Creating those healthy sleep habits can make a world of difference in our overall health and well-being, including blood sugar control.
We've covered a comprehensive range of strategies and insights. Our listeners, armed with a wealth of knowledge, to take control of their blood sugar.
I hope our listeners feel empowered to make positive changes and prioritize their metabolic health.
I believe they do. But before we sign off, I'd like to leave our listeners with a final thought-provoking question.
Always appreciate a good thought to ponder. Go ahead.
We focused extensively on managing those blood sugar spikes, but what if we could shift our mindset from reacting to proactively preventing them?
That's a brilliant question. Instead of simply putting out fires, what if we focused on building a lifestyle that supports stable blood sugar from the ground up?
Exactly. It's about cultivating those daily habits, nurturing food choices, regular physical activity, stress management techniques, and prioritizing quality sleep. That creates a solid foundation for long-term metabolic health.
Creating a lifestyle that nourishes and supports our bodies, rather than constantly battling against them.
To our listeners, you've gained valuable information today, but the true power lies within you. Take this knowledge, experiment, and discover what works best for your unique body and lifestyle.
Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Lean on your healthcare provider, registered dietitians, and supportive communities to guide you along the way.
And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Small, consistent changes over time can lead to remarkable results.
Perfect note to end on. Embrace those small victories. Celebrate your progress. And never underestimate the power of self-care.
This has been an incredible deep dive into the world of blood sugar. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery. Until next time, Stay curious, stay informed, and keep diving deep.